Morning comes. Fenrir has transported back into a human. He had gorged himself on turtle after the giant dragon turtle battle that you and your party were victorious in. And the captain would like to speak to him aboard the ship. Go over some things. And that's where we're going to begin. On the deck of Kelpie's Kiss.
Fenrir comes out, and he's not naked, but he's just dressed from the waist down, probably, in some sort of, like, barbaric-looking tunic, or what have you, loincloth-looking thing in his belt. And he steps out onto the deck, and the sun is just rising.
Yes.
And the breeze comes, and he can smell the death of the dragon floating in the water next to the boat, and he hears the call of the birds that are all gathering in the sky, and as the wind blows the stench into his face, he thinks to himself that the air has never smelled sweeter. And he will make his way across the deck.
The captain's there and he says, "Morning.
Good morrow.
I imagine you slept peaceful."
I slept better than I think I ever have.
Let's go in my cabin and let's talk about something that you brought up earlier in our voyage. And they go into the cabin, shut the door.
I will oblige you.
You came to me about the Isle of Bolderan, the forbidden place.
Yes.
Well, after fighting, and I thank you and your party for defending the ship, but after fighting that turtle, we took some substantial damage to the boat. And,
Why, I see that.
it's going to take some time to repair it because we're not in a dry dock. We'll have to utilize our rowboats and try to swim underneath it, try to patch it up. But the good thing is we're in this ship graveyard. We'll be able to piecemeal it. The reason I'm sorry.
I was agreeing with you.
The reason I bring it up is we're probably going to be here for another 24 to 48 hours. And you spoke to me of that island. I dare not send any of my men there, but you could probably row there 4 or 5 hours. He's drawn up a map. I don't know if you know how to read it, but this could get you to the island and hopefully back.
Percival knows how to read maps, and I know how to read, and I know my way around a bit. I've been on one voyage before this with my companion Jaster, and he let me look over the map with him. I'm sure that I can perhaps follow it if I use my knowledge of the sun.
If you follow the sun, you'll find your way there. Find your way back might be a little bit more tricky, if you make it back.
Aye, if I do. I have a quest that I am on. The small one that's with me is the most important thing in my life. Nothing must befall him, and I must not do anything selfish, but I am afraid that I will not be able to deny myself this time, for it is my destiny to find that island. I must. And he will just have to understand. If I do not return, I would ask that you keep him in good health as best you can.
I can give you 48 hours. I imagine that's as much time as we can spend here. If we don't see you then we'll just have to understand that the same fate fell upon you as did all others that have gone to the island of Bolderan.
Well, I'll be back, or I'll see you in hell.
And so with that, Fenrir's got this kind of map and it's kind of pointing him in the direction, and it's it will have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so he goes to the edge of the Kelpie's Kiss, and the crew helps him get in. He loads up some rations and stuff in the boat for his little trip.
Fenrir's going to travel light. He's just going to be basically wearing his belt and his clothes. He's going to leave his breastplate behind with the with Percy and tell him that if he doesn't return, he has to find a new guardian. But that he promises to come back. And Percy's almost like kind of happy that Fenrir's leaving, but also maybe just a little sad.
And he sets forth rowing in the trackless sea. Just him and his thoughts.
Fenrir thinks back to the time that he was on the ocean with Jaster. And he remembers the stillness of the sea. And he remembers how treacherous it can be as well. And he finds a certain peace inside him.
Kind of reminds him of his father and mother, Strom and Wethra. Calm yet ferocious.
My father was ferocious. My mother was the calm one. But you didn't want to make her mad either. For she was as wild as a hell sprite. And just as furious in battle as any other Uthgar. I miss her sometimes, but I know that she was happy for me when I followed my destiny. Unlike my father, he did not want me to go. He knew that the situation that I was in was one that would pass, but I was not satisfied. I had a rivalry with the chief's son, Yol, and the chief hated my father, very jealous of him for mating with my mother. Yol would take credit for my victories, and the chief allowed it to be. I knew that if I did not leave, I would never be happy. And here I am, rowing on this ocean, hero of the Sword Coast, protector of Percival of the Clan Paxton, whose destiny I know is important.
His memories and his thoughts of his father and mother and his tribe, kind of being this close to the island and so close to his transformation with the wolf, reminds him of his 13th winter when he received the gift. It wasn't long after that 13th winter. He was out running around in wolfskin, just running around as a young boy would. That day, he would kill his first man.
I remember that. My first kill. Yesterday I slayed a creature that was larger than the ship that I was sailing on. It was incredible. And the feeling I had this morning when I awoke was like no other I've ever had, save for perhaps that day when I killed that first man.
And his vision goes back to that icy spine of the world. Just a young wolf cub. He was just playing, eating berries, just learning to run in his skin.
Chasing possums and things.
And then he heard some movement. And he saw a rhined barbarian, fair-skinned, blonde-haired, Viking-esque. He had heard from his father, Strom, that Isar Kostrom, the chieftain of the tribe of the Wolf, of the Rain Barbarians, thought himself the Wolf King, and he had made it his personal mission to incorporate the Grey Wolves into his tribe, because he thought he was a god. That day, Fenrir came across a scout who was going to their village to plan for the raiding party. Fenrir was able to get to him first. That's where we're going to start. So, he's kind of just sneaking along the icy spine of the world, Icewind Dale area, and Fenrir's in wolf form.
Is this like the dead of winter? So
Yes.
there's lots of thick snow.
Yes, thick snow. He's maybe a little more than 13 winters old.
Fenrir is trying to move quickly between any kind of brush that he can that is available, just to try and look at this thing, take in this person's movements and study him.
He's wearing the markings
as a wolf does
of the tribe of wolf. Not to be confused with the Grey Wolf tribe.
So it's familiar to me, but not my tribe. What is this person doing?
He's definitely not friendly, and Fenrir knows that, like I said, his father had told him that they had been attacked a few times. They were just checking the defenses, but on this day, Fenrir happened to come across the scout, and by fighting this scout, he's going to be able to stop the invasion and protect his tribe.
So is the scout moving at a fast pace, or is he moving stealthily
He's
along?
creeping,
Okay, he's
creeping along.
Fenrir's going to try and use a flank maneuver to try and ambush this fellow as best he can.
Yes.
Moving slow as he can and trying not to give away his position so that he can pounce on him. And when he gets close enough, he can smell the sweat and he can smell the leather and the oils that are used to clean the blades. And he'll creep up and he'll attack.
All right. So he pounces. Just roll for an attack, and we'll go into combat.
Okay. 2, so 17.
So he hits with 17, yes.
And I roll 6 on the d8. So his teeth will gnash into him, and it's plus 2, so 8 for 8 piercing damage. And just from a grab onto this guy's arm, starts tearing it to pieces.
And he pulls, he's got his little dagger out, and he swings down at the, he rolled a 19.
Ooh,
So his dagger slices into young Fenrir, drawing blood. 5 points slashing damage.
He only attacks with a 7 this time. He comes at him, but he's hurt. He's hurt. 7.
So this grown man, who is a barbarian himself in his own right, he's blonde hair, and he's got the long Viking-like dreads and stuff. He doesn't fear this wolf because he thinks he works for the god of wolves. But because Fenrir's chewing on his arm, I rolled a natural 2. He can't do anything. And Fenrir, seeing that the mask had fallen off in their combat, senses an opportunity to go for the kill.
He's going to try and bite at his throat. And that'll be a 17.
He gets his mouth right around this man's throat, clamps down.
Tears it out.
Rips it out. And this is Fenrir's first kill. How does it feel? The first blood he drew. As a man crumbles to the ground, holding onto his throat, bleeding out.
Fenrir sees the brilliant red spread out across the snow, and the taste to him is familiar, as he's, of course, eaten wild game, but he has never tasted human blood before, or flesh, and his wolf heart is filled with vigor and excitement, and he will drag the man off of the trail, just kind of like sit and stare at him for a while, just taking it in.
He also knows he's a scout, and that there could be a danger for his tribe.
So after he does this, he will, is there anything on the man that indicates his tribe that I would be able to tear off?
They wear the markings. It's
some sort of
tattoos and stuff like that, and necklaces, anything like
something
that.
like that. He'll grab something off with his snout and run at full speed back to the encampment.
And he first comes across his father Strom.
I can turn into a human at will?
Yes.
Okay.
He turned into a 13 young boy.
Father, Father.
Fenrir runs to the Luskan village, the Grey Wolf tribes.
Strom. There was a scout in the forest from the wolf tribe, but I have slain him. He was coming towards our encampment. I have ended his life. And I've got blood dripping down my chest and everything. And I throw this necklace with the wolf fangs.
Father catches it in midair. He's a hulking man. Some would say he's twice as big as Fenrir.
What say you, Father? We must tell the chief that the other tribe is sending scouts. But I have ended his life. They will most likely come. Will they not? Will we to war? Don't hunt for death, boy. It finds us all soon enough. We'll have to go and tell the chief right now. You've done well, my son. You have earned your fangs.
And they went to Chief Nightblaze, and no matter what the differences in the tribe might be, they stood unified that day and were able to ambush in wolf form, and the snow ran red with the blood of the tribe of the wolf that day. And never again did Uthgar Holmstrom try to come into their territory. Fenrir's memories fade away, and he sees the clouds in the distance, and the water's just quietly going as he continues to paddle. Time goes by, and he finds himself thinking back to that day when he fought those demons. He went from a happy thought to an unhappy thought.
It is the only doubt I've ever had. But I was not prepared for that fight, for they fooled me with their skin. I merely meant to antagonize them, to not upset the order of the world that I was living in. Had I known they were demons, I would have cut their heads off where they stood immediately. But it cost me valuable time, and I lost. I have been beaten before, but I have never lost. That day, I lost. Or I would have, had it not been for the will of Uthgar.
Yeah, Uthgar returned his gift, and Fenrir thinks about first that day that they removed his gift from him when he left the tribe.
That was one of the most challenging things I had ever faced in my life. I wanted to leave home, but I knew that the price was that I had to lay down the wolf, as is custom amongst our people, and that I would from that day forward have to bear the name Uthbane. But it was a price that I was willing to pay. I fought until I could not anymore. My arms swang so many times, and many jaws did I break. I ripped the ears off of kinsmen that I fought next to. I broke arms, I kicked knees in, but eventually I tired. For an entire tribe of the Grey Wolf coming down upon you is no easy task to fight off with your bare hands. At least not at that time of my life.
And as beaten as he felt that day was similar to the day he fought those demons. He was beaten and broken and laying there looking up, knowing his mortality. But that day was different. And it's almost like it happened yesterday. He could still remember waking up and finding himself naked in the cold winter snow. Bewildered, he felt heat emanating from a great hall and the smell of roasted meat. There was a giant wood structure made of the finest wood he had ever seen, carvings of warriors doing battle wrapped around the longhouse. A large totem of a wolf's head rested upon the entry door, and he felt welcome. He remembers staggering into the great hall and the large roaring fire. It instantly removed the harsh winter chill. Weapons lined the walls, and a table as tall as a man ran the length of the meat hall. And at the end of the table, a large bearded man sat in a grand seat fit for a king. He was huge, giant-like, a horned helmet masking his face, a long white braided beard flowing out from underneath. Dressed in battle garb, he raised his large mead horn to Fenrir, and he said, "Greetings, child of the full moon. Welcome to Warrior's Rest. You died well." Fenrir remembers that meeting with his god, Uthgar, Gardel's son, the battle father, the father of the Uthgard. And he was in the realm of the Uthgardian, in the plain of Yazgar. He remembers Uthgar talking to him. "Here great warriors come to fight on the endless battlefield. You, my chosen champion, were to join in the battle, in the joy of this battle, to eat, drink, and slay forevermore. But you betrayed me, threw away the gift of Silu's kiss, turned your back on the beast within. No, you are not welcome here. You will return to your realm. You will embrace the boom Selûne gifted you. You will master the beast, and use its powers to defeat the great darkness that looms. Only with the power of moon's light can the darkness be defeated. When the three moons align, their power will be amplified. Only then can the mistress of night be stopped. You, barbarian, are my champion. Seek glory in this coming battle, and I will welcome you back to the Golden Hall." And then Fenrir found himself awakened in front of those demons, reborn with this new charge to protect Percy, to protect Lars, to align those three moons.
I had never felt more joy. Not because I had seen the afterlife, or the endless battlefield, or even that I had sat at the table of Uthgar himself. I was overjoyed that I still had a chance. Even though I had been gifted a quest and that my life would have to take a different path than the one that I had set out for myself, I knew that one day I would be able to pursue my own desires once again. Life was in my lungs once again. There was no way in all the 9 hells I would let those devils kill me again. And I tore them limb from limb that day with my blade. For once this war is won, and the Night Sister has been laid to rest, and Percy is safe, and this world has been defended, I will set out to do what I left home that day to do. I know now the reason I am rowing to this island. This quest that I am on now has nothing to do with Percy. It has nothing to do with Uthgar. It has everything to do with my own destiny, and I know that I am bound to conquer the world with my own hands. For I am not satisfied with the notion that when I die, I will merely grace an endless battlefield to fight over and over again into eternity. No. When I conquer this world, I will die and go to Isgard again, and the halls will rumble, and they will kneel before me. And then in the afterlife I will conquer the sky, for I am Fenrir.
He knows this journey has been taking him all over the place. And as he continues to row, his mind goes back to that fateful day when he was rejoined with the wolf at Raven Rock.
That was a strange day, but a joyous one for me. I had lived with a certain melancholy in my heart ever since I had given up the wolf But the joys I found outside the tribe and in the world kind of, in a way, outweighed that melancholy. I found solace in the drink. The wolf was returned to me, yes, and I felt at one with it once again. I still find myself drinking all the time, though, for it numbs the pain of the memory of not being myself, and that one day I will be free once again, once my destiny has been fulfilled.
Does he still feel the separation between him and the wolf that he felt at Raven Rock when the wolf was chained there, left behind?
I do not feel that I am separated from him, but one day this world will have to see me for who I am, all the time, and I will not have to hide when I change. For one day, people will beckon for my sword. They will beckon me for my presence. And those who don't will fall.
He rests his fist upon his chin as the boat gently floats along.
Just daydreaming.
Yes, daydreaming, and time's passed.
I haven't gotten to think about myself in a long time. I have found what I think to be love. I have known women, I have known riches. I now know more riches than I ever have. But it is only a means to an end.
He thinks back to the night that him and Helena spent together. Unbridled passion. That night, Helena asked him to give her the gift of the wolf. Fenrir didn't tell any of his friends that request. Did he give her that request or not?
He said it was not time. I could not give her what she asked for. Not that night. It was not within my ability to give her such. And as much as I care for her, and as much as I want to give it to her, our paths have not yet joined. Not permanently. Perhaps one day I will, but I will have to see her, and she will have to fall in line with my own dreams and hopes, if that is the case.
She wanted the power to help her gain status with Zentarum. Maybe even put together an army of werewolf soldiers.
I know that's what she wants. And maybe one day I will give it to her. But first, I must find my path.
The gypsy who told her of your forcoming told her to find the beast and he would lead her to great power. It's a vague riddle. It can be interpreted in different ways. Is the great power that she would be leader of the Zentarum? Is the great power that she herself would become a werewolf? She spent many, many nights deciphering these. And sometime during that night, I think Fenrir probably was like, enough talk, woman. But she is hungry like he is hungry.
When we made love, it was like two warriors fighting, trying to outdo the other. She finally outlasted me by the end of the night. Perhaps that was the first time I've lost. And not the time when I died at the hand of a demon. She is like wildfire, that one, a mystery to me still. She does things to my heart that I do not understand. I hope to unravel that riddle someday.
An island comes into sight with a shoddy dock, little crude huts with thatched roofs and mud,
align the ocean as Fenrir oars his way into the docks, finding an empty dock. He pulls his boat in, and kind of everybody in the area kind of looks at him strangely. And the first thing he notices that there's wolves walking among them. Some of the wolves have chains on them. Some are gray, some are black. They're matted. They got splotchy parts to them. Their fur is not clean. And then all the other people, all the humans he sees are women. And they're of the older age, some are younger, but they're all kind of covered in robes and stuff like that. And he pulls his boat into the dock.
Well, he's just kind of looking around and taking in the sight that he sees here. Do the people seem to be concerned that he's...
Yes, they all turn to look at him. They're definitely the wolves are staring at him. The women are staring at him.
He stands up tall in the boat and just hops out onto the deck. He'll tie the moor.
And he steps off the boat, ties it up, like you said. And the women kind of turn away. You know, they don't want to make contact with him, as if they don't want to be seen speaking to him.
Hail there! Is this the Isle of Balduran?
They don't respond. They kind of start moving away. Some of the black wolves move up.
He'll move cautiously up the dock.
And these two sheepish, they kind of low-crawling, two smaller gray wolves kind of come up to the dock towards him.
He'll kneel down.
And they get to his hand, and they both start smelling it.
But he doesn't treat them like pets or like dogs to pet. Mm-hmm. It's like he's still in human form, of course, but this is like a way a wolf would greet another. Like are you going to show me respect kind of motion?
Yeah, and they like I said, they sniff him, but they definitely are not harming him in any way. They seem very... One of them starts kind of walking around his legs, kind of doing circles around his legs. As the women folk clear, these black wolves start walking towards Fenrir. You can see these some chains around them. It's not silver chains or iron chains and stuff like that. Now these two gray wolves don't have any chains on them.
Fenrir will reach into his little pack and he pulls out a clump of dragon turtle, and he'll offer it to these gray wolves.
As soon as he does that, these other wolves get scent of it, and their eyes and you can just kind of see their fangs. You hear them too, and the one gray wolf is he's kind of behind Fenrir, and the other one he takes the meat, and he starts kind of going this way, and the other wolf's kind of pushing Fenrir in a way, kind of getting in his legs, kind of needling him with his snout.
All right, Fenrir takes a hint, and he'll go with them.
And these other three wolves kind of follow slowly, cautiously, and eventually you find yourself going into like a little hut. So the one wolf with the meat goes into the hut, and the other one kind of scatters real quickly around Fenrir's legs, and they both start eating the meat like they haven't eaten in days.
Must be hungry then. You look starved. Can see your rib cage.
They are malnourished, underfed, very gaunt, very tiny compared to the other blacker wolves.
That's a good meal, isn't it? Rich, probably the richest meat you'll ever eat. For none so small as you could ever slay a creature such as this. He'll reach into his pack and pull out some for himself and just kind of take a bite of it.
And then the one wolf kind of goes over to the door, and he uses his snout to shut this little door.
Yeah.
And then you start seeing these wolves transform. And before you are two men, very skinny, bones, ribcage hanging out, wearing just like, loincloths. They have long, shoddy black hair, and they're twins.
Greetings.
Yeah. Greetings. I am Sko. This is Hati, my brother. What are you doing? Yes, brother. What are you doing?
I am Fenrir, of the Grey Wolf tribe.
But you're walking around in the shape of man. It is forbidden.
I walk as a man, and I walk as a wolf during the full moon. I do not walk as a wolf at will.
You mustn't. If you can turn into a wolf, you must. For the sake of your life. For the Alpha will punish you. There are spies everywhere. Already they have seen us. The women folk have seen you. And the other...
Who is this Alpha you speak of?
He is the god. He is the king of the island. He is Uthgar in wolf form.
Listen, I've met Uthgar personally, and I guarantee he's not on this island. He lives on the endless battlefield in Yggdrasil, and I've been there myself.
Even in scrawny human form, the one creeps over to you, kind of almost still in on fours. I know your scent.
I'm glad you do, but what do you think it's from?
We are kin.
How so?
We are Luskin.
Ah, yes, I hail from the spine of the world.
Yes. Many millions of moons ago, there was an uprising, and many members left the tribe for other lands. You must have made it.
I left my tribe a long time ago. Well, I believe it's been a few years now. I had wanderlust. But I saw this place in a dream, and I was told of its existence and that I would find my destiny here.
Yes. This is the Isle of Wolf. This is where all wolves, the Homo lycanthropia.
Ah. Well, then it appears I've come to the right place. I was a werewolf last night. And the night before.
Werewolf?
And the night before. A wolf skin, I mean to say.
A shapeshifter, yes.
Yes.
Well, here on this island, we all are beholden to the Packmaster, the Wolfware, the greater Wolfware. He is pure blood. He gives us food when we should eat. He takes the women that he wants. Men are forbidden from walking on two legs as you have.
What makes him a pure blood?
They have not crossed the line. He is a wolf-were, where we are just werewolves.
Well, my mother and father, they were... Sturm and Westra. They told me stories of how I was made, and it was while they were in wolf form. That must make me pure blood as well.
I think our ancestors split ways here once. You have our scent. We smell us on you. Smell us.
You'll smell his hand.
Yes. And it's familiar in a way. It does smell kind of like the Grey Wolf tribe. And Fenrir surmises that Skull and Hati are distant relatives of his. But left back on this island. Some left the island and made a new life in the spine of the world where no one would find them. They could control the lycanthropy.
Sword Coast.
Here, this island is run by a wolf-wearer, and he's a harsh packmaster, and he forbids the men from walking on two legs, and the women must always stay in female form for his pleasures.
Well, I don't like the sound of him, but I have come here to find my destiny.
What is that?
I do not know, but I lost my gift, and it was regifted to me. And there was a man who called himself Lothander, sent me here.
We know but one god, Uthgar, and he is in wolf form, the chosen one, Alpha.
I am not so confident that he is the chosen one, for I am the champion of Uthgar. Perhaps it's time I meet this Alpha.
Did you find other lands to settle? We had thought everyone who left here died.
The Sword Coast is not that far.
Sword Coast.
Across the Trackless Sea.
Trackless Sea. Such places of words. We do not know.
I
We
have
only know
seen
this
things that
island.
would make you fall to your knees and cower. Great chasms lined with jewels. Cities as tall as mountains, built by man. I have seen tall dragons. I have fought with monsters that would give your children's nightmares on into the ages. And I have fought alongside people who willed magic that your imagination cannot even fathom.
What a wonderful world you must live in, for we are enslaved here. The Alpha decides which shall live, keeping his litter the strongest, largest, and
Damn
then
it,
killing
man.
any that could challenge him.
If Luskan blood flows through your veins, then why do you not rise up and take what you want? Be a warrior, like you are destined to be.
Many have tried, many have failed. And you look at him and you can see he's like the guy. They're what is it, initiated or whatever?
Yeah.
They're just skin and bones. Like the Packmaster only gives them enough food, so that he keeps some wolves around to continue some of the bloodlines, so he could have warriors for himself or even maidens. It's definitely you've rolled into a dictatorship, almost like a Targaryen-like structure where the White Wolves are incestuous, and they keep their bloodline pure away from them. And these are the ones that go hunting, the ones that go fishing, the ones that clean. These are the worker society. They're the lowest of class, where these would be the second class, the enforcers.
How does that meat taste that I gave you?
It is wonderful. It is a bounty we could never repay.
That is probably the most nutritious and nutrient meat that you will ever taste. It is the flesh of a turtle dragon.
I have eaten the turtle, never a dragon.
That'll give you strength. If you're tired of eating table scraps, you might follow me and take me to your Alpha.
Yeah.
I will protect you.
And then the door bashes open, and these three black wolves come in, and they cower real quick, and they hurry up, and it's almost painful, their transformation now. They're so used to just being on all fours all the time, and the wolves come in.
I stand between the wolves and them, and I say to them, "These two wolves are under my protection, and I wish to meet your Alpha. We can do so without shedding blood, But if it is tooth and claw you wish to cross with my steel, I will oblige you. But I would prefer that I do not do so.
Intimidation or persuasion? Which would you prefer?
I'll go with
what do you think
intimidation.
Okay, so he's trying to
That's
intimidate these
intimidation.
wolves.
I rolled. Keeps rolling a 15 tonight. My intimidation is +3, so 18.
18. So these wolves kind of get a scent of him and the smell of the death and carnage upon him, and they kind of step back. And Fenrir gets the idea that they will lead him.
He nods at them.
They know they can't take him, but they imagine that the Alpha could slaughter him.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna. They're not the most well fed either,
Mm-hmm.
even though they're brutes of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Skull and Hati follow behind Fenrir closely.
Mm-hmm.
These
are my friends.
While the Black Wolves, they're your ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
They are long cousins, if you'd like.
Mm-hmm. Distant relatives.
Distant relatives. And you go through the city, and outside, so the city has a facade to welcome in fishermen and traders to be slaughtered.
So it looks like a fishing dock, but it's not. It's mostly goes down.
Yeah, once you get out, it's all woodlands and caves where a lot of the wolves like to stay. And there's the largest cave, of course. And you know that's going to be, his.
Where the big bad wolf lives.
Of course. After walking for some distance, you reach the biggest cave. And it's illuminated with like some torchlight and stuff inside. It's a cross between savage and sophisticated, I guess you would say. Like their furs and stuff like that. Like they have found a way, or at least the Alpha. He is in like the hybrid form all the time, where the others must stay in their wolf form, and they're the size of.
I can see it. They look like freaking lions.
I'm trying to say, well,
like bears.
Yeah, from no
dire wolves.
Dire wolves, yes, they're the size of dire wolves. They're huge.
Yeah.
And we enter the cave, Fenrir. And these wolves will just stay outside.
I'm going to just announce that I'm going to speak in Liskin.
Okay. And standing at the end of the cave is a 9-10 foot tall white wolf in hybrid form with two females in humanoid form crouched near him on his throne. And he does not look happy to see you.
Hail, O white wolf of Balduran. I am Fenrir from the Sword Coast.
You disrespect me by walking in. You will change. You will show me proper due meal.
My kind, when we split from this land, lost the ability to do that. We only turn with the moon. I am Nook. I walk as a man.
You are a lesser being. I am Uthgar, the chosen one, the Alpha. I am pale as the moon, and I am a god. I change as I see fit. You are but a meal. You will kneel on all four.
I kneel before no one, especially one who claims to be Uthgar. I have met Uthgar, and you are not he. I am his champion. and I have been sent here to find my destiny. If you are my destiny, then so be it.
Look around you. This is my pack. They follow the lead. The Alpha, you are but a wasted litter. Squirted out. Lost. You have no power here.
I do have power. I have power wherever I go. I carry it in my arms and in my heart. And I will conquer you if that is what you wish.
You would challenge me, a god?
You are no god. I have seen gods. I will slay you here in front of all of your pack if that is what you desire. Or you can simply talk to me and help me figure out why I have come here.
I don't talk to my meat. I do not talk to my meals. You come in with your weapons. You're not a man. You're not a wolf.
You're right. I am much more than beast, much more than a man.
Throw away your arms. Meet me in combat. Show me that you are the chosen one. I will pick you from my teeth. I will drink the marrow from your bones.
I look forward to making you eat those words.
But to fight me, you must show me your true form, not this sack.
If Uthgar wills it, he will allow me to do so. For I cannot change at will, only in the full moon.
You're but a pup. You should have been thrown to the rocks, fed to the worthless two behind you. If you will not face me as your true nature, take the crown. You are a waste of my time. I will feed you to these dire wolves.
You can certainly try, but they will die here on the floors of your cave.
And Fenrir sees eyes pop up all around, and he knows that this cave has the rest of the Alpha's pack, the inbred white wolves that kept the bloodline pure.
Mm-hmm.
And Fenrir knows the only way to combat him is to beat him in front of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way to fight him would be in wolf form.
Mm-hmm. He'll take off his sword, and he'll lay it on the ground, and he'll uncuff his knife and his belt, and lay them on the ground, and he'll hold out his arms, and he'll remember what he felt last night when he was feasting on the turtle, when he felt the call, the beckoning of his senses, when he looked to the north and saw off in the distance and heard the cry of the wolf. And he remembers what it was like to be able to change when he wanted. And he'll try with all of his might.
And he thinks about the turtle. He thinks about when the airship allowed him to run through the woods freely, in the swamps. He ran through the swamps. What a night it was to run free in a new area, new smells, new senses. And then he remembers a time at Raven Rock. His mind even goes back farther, and he hears a voice. Come with me, young Fenrir. We will run together. And then him and his mother would transform. She'd hold his hand, and they would transform together into wolves. She was a beautiful gray and white wolf, majestic looking, and he was just a small little runt next to her, and they would run together in the woods. And he could just feel something inside him start to change. Maybe something on this island, maybe something with his journey, or maybe the wolf inside him is ready to come out and unleash the beast. And with that, Fenrir can feel the transformation coming.
I told you, I will fight you. And if I must do so as a wolf, I will it into existence. So have me.
And his body shifts and changes.
Light the fire!
And the women run out and they create a ring of fire. Hati and Skull step back. And the wolves all look on. We, sir, will roll.
You named them after Fenrir's children, Hades and Skull.
We will roll for initiative.
Oh, okay. Am I using this paper here?
Yep.
Combined with Fenrir's character sheet I mentioned?
Yep.
Okay.
It's basically the AC is what you gotta keep. I have a 15.
Well, I got a 18.
Okay, you go first.
Okay. Now, do I have my abilities like raging and things like that?
Sure.
Fenrir has unleashed the beast. He will unleash his rage. His werewolf rage. Alright. And he will attack. And he'll just go in both claws. And he gets 17 plus... it's not a plus 2 weapon, so it's plus 9 I guess. Plus 9 to hit. And that's with his claw. So he just explodes out of there and like slashes at this white wolf.
You said 19?
19 to hit.
Yep, 19 hits.
And that's gonna be 11. 11 damage with his claw. Does he get the same amount of attacks as he usually does?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the second attack is going to be 25 something to hit.
Yep.
Aha. That's going to be 6 plus 9, so 15. He just digs both hands into the sky.
On the greater Wolfware's turn.
I too can rage.
And he activates rage. He's gonna swing at. And Fenrir is smaller, and he goes down with this giant grasping hand, and he rolls a 3, so I know he's gonna miss. And Fenrir is smaller and kind of dodges out of the way, and his second attack. Well, now this one's gonna be.
That hit.
Yeah, 18. Yeah, I know you got 11 or 12 is your hit. And so he's gonna hit you. 11 piercing damage. His other claw comes down into you and rips into your back, causing blood to fly out. All right, back to you.
Fenrir is going to attack once. Now, since we're so close to each other, he's going to jump up on him and bite his head, or bite at his throat. Tries to anyway. He's going to bite. He ends up biting him. No, he's not going to bite him on the foot. That's a stupid dice. Go for the head, man. Hit him in the foot. Okay, I rolled a 16 plus, like...
That hits?
Yeah, tons. So it's a D8 for biting. I reroll... Nope, that's not a weapon, so it's... I can reroll that. I think I would remember this. It's a 9, 10 damage.
Okay.
And with his second attack, he'll go in with his claw. And it's going to be a 15 plus a lot to hit, plus 9. So 24 to hit, I imagine. So
Yep.
6 plus 8, 14 damage.
Okay.
So he bites at this thing and just fur and blood and tooth and nail just slashing everywhere.
He's trying to bite into his jugular, but he can't quite get. He's protected, and the greater wolf were is going to try to grapple him.
Just bites him on his chest a little bit.
That's going to be an 8 to grab him.
Okay. I have advantage on strength checks.
Okay.
Mine is going to be 13 before modifier.
With his second attack, he's going to try to grab you again.
Okay.
All right, so that one's going to be 15.
Okay. Mine is 28.
All right. So he's trying to push you towards the fire, but Fenrir's pushing back against it. And some of the wolves are thinking, how is this smaller wolf staying up? And Fenrir's got to remember, none of these other guys are allowed to be in hybrid form. They haven't seen anyone in hybrid form outside of the alpha. All right, back to you.
So he's hoping to hurt me with the fire.
It's a ring of fire. I'm going to use it.
Fenrir is going to attack him with my mouth. He's going to try and bite him again. I rolled a 16 on the dice. So I imagine that hits. It's been hit before.
These guys got natural armor. They don't have much armor. It's almost bare-chested. Two guys fighting in flames.
Yeah. That's going to be 8 plus 3. 11. 11.
11 damage, okay.
And he's going to try and grapple the master with his second attack. Well, it will be 24.
I rolled 18 on strength.
Okay. He's grappled. Next time he's going to try and jump in the fire.
Grappled. While he's grappled, he's going to try
Can I move him? Since I have movement while he's grappled? Or
Sure. You both go in the fire,
right?
right?
Push him back. I don't know. Fuck it. I'll go on my next turn.
He's going to try to put... His jaws are the size of Fenrir's head. He's going to try to clamp down on Fenrir's head. Oh.
Bite my head.
God damn it, man.
What'd you get?
A 2. You can't...
Fenrir he grappled before. He moves his head underneath the jaw and moves his head out of the way.
His second attack, he's just going to try to slice at him then.
Try to cut me with your claw. Dig his claws in my ribs.
15.
That hits, of course.
That's going to be 13. 13 damage. He slices. Piercing damage. He does. He slices at you.
Okay.
All right. So Fenrir's grappling him, and he's swiping out, ripping it at his chest down to his leg.
He's going to try and, since he's got him grappled, his attack is going to be to. He wants to slam him down on the ground with his head going into the fire.
All right. Roll an attack, and if he succeeds, then I'll let that happen.
Okay. I'll just roll a regular attack. 15 plus 9.
Yep, that does
24.
He climbs up this giant wolf, and he's kind of grappling, but he kind of just pulls him down, and you walk me through it.
So they're wrestling with each other, and they're just claws. Fenrir kind of like goes up, like you said, up on top of him, and as he comes down, he's grabbed as he sees IBs it, he's got horns coming out of his head. He just grabs this guy by the horns and almost kind of body slams him onto the ground, and his body, will hit the ring of fire a little bit.
His face and his body gets singed for 5 points fire damage.
All right.
Okay. Your second attack.
Okay. I'll attack him. This time it's only going to be 17 to hit.
17 hits.
And that's going to be 11 damage.
He's enraged, and he hits you with 17 is going to hit for sure. With his claws, so it's going to be that's 12 points. And then his second attack, he's going to try to bite down on your shoulder blade. It's going to be 13.
Yeah, 12. So
that's 15, really. So then his mouth comes down on your shoulder blade, and you take another 13. I'm sorry, 13 points piercing damage as it cuts into your shoulder, getting deep. So both these guys are raging. So they're taking half damage on all this shit.
yeah, nuts. Okay. All right, Fenrir's gonna go for it again. Try and bite into him. I roll a 16 on the dice. I rolled a 1.
Yes.
Plus my 8. So 9 damage. I don't know how it works. I know that I roll 1s and 2s, but that's with weapons. I don't know how it works with this, so let's just keep it with that. Yeah. Roll a 17. Yep. So that'll be with his second attack with the claw. And that'll be 5 plus 8. So 15. No, 5 plus 8 is not 15, is it?
5 plus 8 is 13.
13. Sorry. Yes. There you go.
So,
we get pushed. We're just going around, going crazy.
He wants to try to pick Fenrir up and throw him into the fire again. So,
grapple.
That's only a 10.
Yeah, I have to just roll a 1 to beat him.
Fenrir just continues to wiggle free.
Yeah.
And the great creature can't get him. He's getting frustrated, and he starts, growling at his cohorts. And the
second attack.
He slashes into him with a 20. Dirty 20.
Definitely.
That's going to be 13 points slashing damage. He's trying to push himself free, and he's going to hop over Fenrir to the other side of the fire, getting himself out of the fire. You want an opportunity attack?
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll take it. That's going to hit. So I'll slash him for 6 plus 8, 14.
And he motions to these wolves to come towards the fire, and the little gray wolves run right up to those wolves, and just for the first time in so long, they let loose their inner rage.
Yay! Skull and
turns to attack.
My turn.
Yes.
He leaps across the room. He just leaps through the air. He's gonna land on
top of him. Yes. Oh yes.
Get a picture of that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sometimes the minis are so great. They just tell the story.
Lands in there, both hands.
It's gonna be 15 to hit.
15 hits.
Gonna bite his head. 7 plus 8, 15.
Okay.
And then another attack. That's going to be a 12 plus 9. So, dirty 21.
All right.
And that's going to be 12. 12 then. And Fenrir's just in a rage fury.
He's going to try to push
Savage
Fenrir
beast.
off of him.
Savage fury.
He can't. He's flailing. He's going to try to push Fenrir off again. Oh, natural 20.
Aha! Send him flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he pushes Fenrir,
Throws him.
he tosses him into the flames. He throws him with all the strength that he had, and Fenrir is going to take some flame damage. Oh, he's going to take 1 point of flame damage as his skin is scorched.
Okay.
And Fenrir, as he's picking himself back up, I'm not saying he's prone or anything, he can see the alpha's tail between his legs.
That's funny.
What do you do?
Fenrir can make a long jump after just 5 feet, so he's going to do it again. He comes in, and he comes slashing down like Wolverine. And he comes in with an 18.
18 hits.
And that's going to be a 9 damage on that first one.
Okay.
He just comes down. And he's face to face with this alpha. And he knows that he's got this guy on the ropes. Fire's coming off of his fur. He's a wolf on fire. Wolf in flames. And he comes around for that last hit. He rolls another 18.
Hits.
And that's going to be 12 damage on that one.
Okay. Alright.
I'm going to let him go.
Okay. He's crawling, looking around at the wolves. And they all kind of put their heads down. Like, they almost kind of lay themselves down knowing that he's losing this battle. And he kind of starts playing to the crowd.
Come, aid your God. Your God commands it. I beckon it. Hear my howls and answer them.
And none of the wolves answer him as he twirls around looking around. Blood dripping off him, horn broken.
You are but a mortal. I am the chosen of Uthgar, the true champion.
And he'll attack him. 14. Sorry, that's 20. 30, 20.
Mm-hmm.
6 plus 8. What is that? Oh, I can't think. 12. 14.
How does this look?
Alright. So, after they exchange words, Fenrir comes and he unleashes hell. And he just goes crazy. Claw after claw after claw. He's showing no mercy and beating him down to his knees. And now he's sitting there holding on to life, and he looks at Fenrir. And Fenrir kind of takes his head and pulls it up. And he says, I told you I'd make you eat those words. And he slashes his throat. And he slashes it again. And he slashes and slashes until finally he's holding this head high above for all the other wolves to see.
And he parades around the fire pit, and all the wolves kind of gaze at him.
He throws the head across the chasm through the flames that rolls out of the cave,
in front of the black.
and then he runs up to the edge of the flames and howls. Yeah. Flames are all engulfing him still, and he just embracing the rage.
And flames die down.
And the wolves turn to him. Imagine he's the packmaster now.
I am Uthgar's champion, sent here directly by the gods to find my destiny on this island. I have slain your alpha. I am now your master. What is the secret of this island that your master hides? From whence did he come?
The women, we've always lived here. This has been our home.
How did your master grow to be so big and powerful?
For all our years, he has always been the one. That is why many left the island moons ago for freedom from the oppression. Are you here to oppress us now?
No. I will tell you of my story. I once was oppressed as well, held down by my packmaster. I defied him and left my home, and I have made the world my home. I wander where I wish. I eat when I want. I fight when I want. I take champions and I destroy them. I am a champion. I will give that gift to you. You are all free. Free to live as you choose. Free to live together.
And Skull and Hati are the first ones to transform out of their wolf form into humanoid form. And listen to him, brothers. We do not need to follow the pack leader. We can still be strong together.
We walk as men and as wolf.
And slowly but surely, you start seeing all the other wolves in the room start to transform. And they had been locked in the wolf form for so long, it's hurting them. And they stand as men once more.
Fenrir will transform himself into a man.
Okay.
Standing there, naked as the day he was born.
Stand as men once more in the cave of the Alpha.
We are men, we are beasts. We walk as both.
And as he says that, they all kind of look down and they see Alpha, and he has transitioned from his hybrid form into his human form. And he is deformed through years and years of inbreeding. He's got cleft chin. He's old. He's got gray hair, but splotches. His ears are misshapen. He's almost elephant man-esque with like big humps on his body and on his head that's hanging out the door. And this creature has been in charge of this pack. They've been breeding themselves over and over and over to maintain pure blood control. That's why they're wolf wearers and they're werewolves. But now the werewolves of the tribe, and the wolf wearers they're down. They're back here in the back of the cave and they're just kneeling because they don't want to get fucked up. But these are all human men now standing, or Luskan men standing, and they're all, some of them are a little bit nourished better than others.
Right. Your men have been held back for far too long. Your oppressors are now at your own hands. I give them to you. Follow your own destinies. Live as you are meant to live. I tell you now that across the Trackless Sea, there are men of our kind who have settled in the north of the Sword Coast, in the mountains, and in the icy Wind Dale. You are free to leave. You are free to stay, but you will never again. Be hungry. Hunt as you wish. Eat as you wish. Be as fit as you can. And enjoy the land. But if your destiny takes you from home, follow your heart as I have.
I think we can rebuild. Your people, where you came from, they don't have a hierarchy of this? They don't have an alpha?
Of course we do. But everyone has a choice.
And we have a choice now.
One day I shall return, perhaps, and ask a favor of you. I hope that I can count on the strength of your society to stand behind me if I should ever need you.
Yes.
Skoll and Haiti, the first men who I met here. You shall be the leaders of this revolution. Lead these men well. Respect these two, for they are brave, and showed me themselves in human form. They defied the master before any of you, and led me to this place. They are the key to your freedom. You will honor them.
We will.
We will not rule in cruelty, but as a family. We will share the meats. We will share the responsibilities. We will do as our ancestors who left these lands long ago did. And we will have choice.
That is all any man can hope to have.
They go and find some of the stuff that the Alpha has reserves, some of his good meats and his good drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And as men, for the first time in a long time now, maybe behind closed doors they would do it, but they didn't have the fine food or the drinks that they're having now.
No, Fenrir commands that they start a fire, and this night they will feast, and everyone will rejoice. Let it be known.
They would go out and create a nice giant fire that even Uthgar could see. And they would dance around the fire, changing freely as they choose.
Fenrir sharpens a stick and puts it in front of the fire and sticks it down deep into the dirt. And he impales the head of the alpha on it for all to behold.
And they get into some of the whatever cheap wines they made. And
werewolf hooch.
Yeah, werewolf
piss.
Wolf piss. Yes, the real wolf piss. And Fenrir sees as he's drinking and he's getting a little inebriated, he sees this flower, this herb that only grows on this island. That is the belladonna. It grows here.
What does the belladonna do?
Rumor is that if it is made into a potion and administered within an hour of a bite, you could curb the transmission of our wolf powers to another person.
Then I would have you gather a bushel of these. When I leave, I will take it with me.
It is best to use it when it is fresh, not that we ever did, but we could maybe dig up a plant. You could take it.
That's what I would like.
Let it grow strong in the Icewind Dale.
If I ever return there.
And I'd say you guys all have a good time, hanging out all night, drinking, eating, celebrating, being a pack.
A pack. A wolf party.
And the next morning, Fenrir would go to his boat. And
he'll say goodbye to Haiti and Skoll. I cannot remain here and be the party god. I must instead go back and find my destiny. I hope that you two find yours.
I think we have found it. I think we are on the path.
I hope to see you again someday, friends. Again, I may return should I ever need you.
We will all meet again at the table of Uthgar.
Till that day,
Till that day.
Fenrir will hop on his little boat.
They had scratched some stuff on his map to try to help him get back to the boat, because he told them while he was drinking that he had to find his way back, and you know, it's a little bit tougher to get back.
But he can follow the smell of the dragon on the hair.
Follow the smell of the turtle.
Which I'm sure has drawn in many sharks.
And as Fenrir gets back on this little boat and he starts rowing out and the island starts to disappear, he realizes that maybe it was his mom, maybe it was the situation, maybe it was Uthgar, but he can shapeshift now at will. The moon no longer holds command over him. And
now he can do what they used to do in his own old tribe. When the moon was full, yes, they would turn into wolves and run free. But people stricken with lycanthropy the way he was, that's a curse. This is the gift.
And Fenrir now has the alert feat. You cannot be surprised. He gets +5 to his initiative.
Oh my goodness.
So
Okay.
add that.
As Fenrir rows away and the island disappears, he thinks back on all that he's dwelled on during this mission and how hard it was for him to get to this island and how much he longed to get here, and now he understands. The wolf inside him no longer feels like it is something separate, but for the first time in many, many, many moons, he feels whole.